Yes. The last nail in the coffin for mankind. They exploited technology for their own gains, pocketing the cash and ignoring the damage it done.
Security's too good. Paladin dance.
Look at these wrecks. It appears
Is this the Brotherhood of Steel's handiwork?
unfortunate. Look at the these ropes.
I'll be on the lookout.
Roger that. Let's move out.
Excuse me, Paladin dance.
This place is a mess, but I still see a few pieces of salvage that the Brotherhood might be interested in. After we're done here, we'll have to mark this place for sweep and retreat.
I'm in.
Nice fight. They have a drop.
Is someone present? Contact will be instituted. You must be destroyed.
Multiple sim targets. Take them down. Exterminate abomination. Target eliminated. Damn synths and compromised most of the facility. Remain vigilant.
Got it.
Found you! That's how we do it in the...
Yes. Hey. Dance?
Engine course ahead. Should be our final stop. Watch your footing. Looks like the power's out in this section. Look at this place. Drives are a field day here. There has to be a power backup system somewhere. Scout the maintenance. Are you off the main chamber? I'll remain here to watch our backs.
Perfect. Hey. I'm through.
Engine core power restored. Thermal engine command accepted. Commencing 5-second countdown. 5, 4, 3. Where did you go? 2, 1. Engine fire. Test firing completed with an efficiency rating of 96.7%.
Oh my god, are you alright? Got cooked by those flames. But thanks to my power armor, I'm still in one piece. The important thing is that we're still alive. We have a way to get to the transmitter. Let's go.
Going in. Going up.
I heard something. Over there! Get him! Intruder alert!
Engaging hostile. Critical failure. Please stand still. Critically damaged.
We're clear! They're in the control room. Open fire! I hope that's the last one. Oh, damn it. I don't see the device anywhere. Fan out and check the synth remains. They may have been after the transmitter as well. Let's get out of here. We'll take the service elevator to the surface.
Hey.
Going up.
The bunker looks clear. Let's move out.
Paladin dance.
Well, that could have gone smoother, but mission accomplished.
I thought we worked well as a team.
Agreed. It's a refreshing change to work with a civilian who can follow orders properly. That being said, I believe we have two important matters to discuss. First and foremost, I think you'll find may it serve you well.
That isn't necessary.
I insist. Now, we have our op. There's no way I see it. You could spend the or. So.
No. Sure.
Well, if you change your mind, good luck to you.
Paladin Dance. Glad to see you alive and well, sir.
Are we in luck, sir?
Mission accomplished. We have the transmitter.
Finally, some good news for a change. Nice work, sir.
I didn't do it alone. Had some help from our new friend. I've offered him a place on our team, but I'm not sure he's willing to accept. In the meantime, he's welcome to take shelter, as long as he doesn't get in our way.
Paladin.
There's still a place for you in the Brotherhood.
What would be expected of me if I joined?
You'd be under my command, and I'd expect you to follow orders. No more mercenary work. This is the real thing. You'd have access to advanced military weapons, as well as your own personal suit of power armor. Most importantly, you'd have the Brotherhood at your back, ready to spill its own blood to keep you alive. So, what do you say?
I'd be honored to join.
Then that settles it. Aylin, Reese, it's time to welcome our newest recruit to the recon team. He shows a lot of promise. And with the proper guidance, I think he has the potential of becoming one of the best.
Times strong. Here are some of them. And I thought to myself, who has the will to... It's the Black Ops armor
Thanks.
from Fallout.
You don't have to.
So you decided to...
Combat armor that-
I got tired of wandering around.
Too bad. I was getting used to
Race.
Reese. Like it or not, you're going to have to learn to work together.
Right.
You, we're not soldiers of Fo4. If you intend,
Are you going to teach me the
if you were paying attention in Arctic, you should have learned some of it already. The rest will become apparent as you spend time with your fellow soldiers. Now, since I know you're eager to get started, I'll get right to the point. I only ask for two things from anyone under my command. Honesty and respect. You fall in line, now, from this moment forward, this is only a training ground.
Full-fledged reputation system, just like we had.
Thank you.
Thanks aren't necessary. Just
Advocate.
he doesn't even
Uh-huh.
have Victoria. In our mouth, defeat is unacceptable. Because we're our rules now.
Right. Excuse me, Paladin Vance.
I'm
Excuse
busy.
me.
All right, perhaps we'll speak later.
What's your game? Levels as we make it, so there's several tiers.
I don't have time.
See,
You're nothing. What? The Brotherhood might be the best chance I'll ever have to find my son.
Whoa.
So, ready for your assignment, hero?
Ready.
Then listen up. Like it or not, I'm talking about mutants, ghouls. This is all that don't come back.
Many of your interactions with one faction or another will impact this. And of course, the real
Scribe Halen.
Reese still giving you the cold shoulder.
milestones, whether they be positive.
I wish we can see eye to eye.
Reese, if anything,
I'll just stay out of his way for you.
that would be best. Give him time. So, are you ready to take on your first assignment?
Ready.
Great. Well, I have that here. Good luck.
Factions do work with the system already. At lower levels of positive reputation, they mostly just get better prices from faction vendors, and this can skew negatively as well. Some things will either be more expensive or less expensive.
Move like you got a purpose.
Standing with that faction, which can be one of the first things we feel. Some of these price changes can actually have a pretty large impact on the overall paying price. As your reputation drives higher, you'll get further benefits. Factions will open up supply crates to you, and you can have members come up to you, thanking you, and providing faction-relevant gifts. You're a beacon in this community, and those members will begin to recognize that and actively appreciate you for that. But on the flip side, if you piss off factions, they will now actively hunt you down. This will really come in two forms. You either get dedicated hit squads, just like in Call of Duty. These guys will chase you down specifically, but thankfully at lower levels of negative affinity. Faction patrols will simply attack you on sight. So it's not really a hit squad per se, but just a patrol that happens to see you and begin to get attacked. And depending on when this comes into play, this will have a larger impact on your experience in Fallout 4. Not
Hey,
much of
if
Brotherhood,
Paladin
our
says
armored
they're coming,
enemies come to
then they're
deal with
coming.
devastating,
Just need to
particularly
hold out a
higher
while longer.
difficulties.
I don't know, Halo. We've lost half our squad already. Even with this new guy helping.
Squad still set. Of course, at the highest level of isolation, you'll unlock some of the most powerful rewards with new perks when you get from factions. Like at this month's Minutemen, which will give me bonus damage and a healing aura while fighting in high settlements. Each of the factions has a special perk. Like, listen, overall, this mod is awesome. And make sure factional alignment's a much larger part of Fallout 4 in the intro. It's not just what ending you can do or you're going to do in gameplay. And this mod will have a surprisingly large impact on the specific process in the game. And despite a ton of time around Diamond City, it will really get started. This side these hit squads can be absolutely brutal. I want to institute and Brotherhood of Steel in particular. The hit squads can end up being such a challenge that it can genuinely disincentivizing to bring those factions against you. Overall, this is a fantastic mod that They're spending a ton of time around Diamond City. It wouldn't make sense to use some of those skills or like your faction vengeance. Personally, these hit squads can be absolutely brutal. On places you can know the steel in particular, the hit squads can end up being a challenge that genuinely disincentivizing to bring those factions. Stay in the encounter pack. This implements one of the many additional encounters in Fallout 4, which is deeply the base game shift way. Random encounters are those random scenes you stumble upon while exploring. It could just be two groups of people fighting against one another, or something even a bit stranger. Fallout 4 has quite a few curious and interesting random encounters, and this mod is basically just adding a ton more. Some of which are going to be really fun. You walk into some very dark stuff with this mod, like a skeleton upside down in a cave, a dog bowl at the bottom. Yeah, don't spend too much time thinking about what's going on there. There are treasure markets, so you can find your stash. In this case, like getting nicely upgraded late game weapon via this treasure quest. And yes, you're seeing this here. Random encounters. It took literal hours to get these clips. There's a ton of really good stuff with the Raiders of Fallout 4. With this mod, I stumbled upon a little Raider meeting that was going on, and sadly I did have to crash that one. Where these Raiders who invested all of the caps into current defense, but then the dying still being protected by the turrets. And one of my personal favorites, we even stumble upon a corpse that is actually a gunner ambush, as four gunners were left up out trying to the background of Fallout 4, and they'll continue to pay dividends over the entire game. Making some of these random encounters more unique, more notable, or sometimes just completely novel. Lots of us have hundreds to thousands of hours in Fallout 4. And being able to encounter some completely new things while you're exploring a familiar Commonwealth makes this mod a must-download for me. Plus, some of these new random encounters are this video is sponsor money because you're time to start. Because HelloFresh is running a subscription and is active if you're in the US. Outside the US, the local discount will apply. But if you're looking for something a bit more directed, In the Flesh is a new horror dungeon quest mod. This one is a ton of fun. You'll work through a now abandoned institute lab where something happened. The synths here are not the same as the rest of the synths in the Commonwealth. In the lab overall, you're taken over by these mysterious red fibers. It's a fairly straightforward experience in that you really are just clearing out this dungeon, but along the way, you'll have some very creepy moments as you get deeper and deeper into the location, but you'll also gradually begin to uncover what actually happened here, what was the experiment, and what went wrong. There's quite a bit of lore and story told via these terminals, and this mod was made by a very talented creature designer for Fallout 4, so some of the new creatures are genuinely quite horrifying. This spoils much of, but if you also want your Fallout 4 looking to that's what this is not even in the deep. Like a level well, I can see the classic look in the background with Fallout 4 and more soft and higher contrast, especially this looks at the world definitely looks closely on the Its palette, especially during the nighttime, makes things very dark. A solid option for your most horror overhaul. But if you don't necessarily want your seasonal depression extending into Fallout 4, there's also the Psycho Light Pure, which will up the contrast and saturation, making some of the colors in this world pop notably more. I definitely prefer this version of nice contrast. And if you want to change things in the Commonwealth even further, you can also add dynamic seasons to Fallout 4. City mod seasons change will do just that. So based off your current in-game date for Fallout 4, the environments around you will dynamically update. This mod really doubles as an environmental mod, so you can nice off the season, which is where you'll begin because of when Fallout 4 takes place. These will look completely different compared to vanilla Fallout 4. Vegetation and lushness and the color of the leaves as well as the different plants. Although now in autumn they're largely going to use dead. You have this larger contrast of bright trees but decaying grass. Really there, it's just a green mod. We've seen tons of green mods already, and what makes this mod particularly unique is, as your game progresses so far. Whereas the idea of building out an entire mod list just seems like a ton of work to you, there's now a perfect way to jumpstart things, and that's with the Midnight Ride. From the creator of Even New Vegas, the Midnight Ride will contain all of the bug fixes and really just general stability improvements that you want for Fallout 4. And the really best part about this mod list is you can install it manually or with the automated Wabajack installer. So literally just a few clicks, as well as a Nexus Premium subscription, you can have a perfectly modded Fallout 4 base. Because I can launch the game with this mod list installed, and it'll now play at a rock-solid 144 FPS, and everything just feels smooth. I'm going to show you another mod list later on in this video, but the Midnight Ride doesn't have that kind of stuff that you don't want to think about. It's really not fun or sexy modded, but the stuff that you need to make Fallout 4 more stable along with installer also comes with an extended version that will come with some light constant cons. Yeah, sure, many of these are just really great vanilla plus spots for Fallout 4. Doom and Wet Army 2 just came out earlier this year, and it's a really cool one. This mod will dynamically upgrade the Minutemen as you complete their quest line, so it'll have your main features. Over the course of the game, the Minutemen will now their quests, 30 way station locations will pop up around the Commonwealth. These are relatively minor guard posts with a couple of Minutemen members, a flag representing the faction, as well as some supplies, crafting stations, or even occasionally a vendor you can talk to. But what this mod really does is it adds the immersion. You'll now constantly find little Minutemen outposts scattered all throughout, and they can even get attacked by outside factions that can temporarily clear them out. Minutemen patrols will now become a thing. These will be those typical patrols that will go between major settlements as well as these new way stations. But if you ally with Minutemen, you can also find them guarding your provisioners. So if you set up supply lines between one settlement and another, the Minutemen will actually make sure the supply lines get to their destination safely. And this genuinely is pretty cool. Being able to stumble upon your own supply line with a hefty number of guards getting to some random combat is just a cool encounter in Fallout 4. And lastly, several new Minutemen workshop items will be added to settlements as guard posts that you can use to increase the settlement defenses. This mod is relatively simple from an actual function standpoint. The day-to-day gameplay won't be that different, but it really adds in quite a few nice touches that go a long way into making the Minutemen feel like a proper faction in Fallout 4. You quest with them and hear about all of this talk of rebuilding the Commonwealth, but it's really only with you and Wet Army 2 that you start to see the Commonwealth community built, and you start to see the Minutemen reestablishing their ranks. Another included mod is the attachment pack, which I would consider another must download for just about anyone playing Fallout 4. This will add in new attachments for nearly all of the weapons in the game. This will range from filling out some of the obvious gaps between other attachments, like an advanced version of those various barrel extensions, but it'll also add in some very custom and weapon-changing attachments. So it's almost like an overhaul of many of the weapons you find in vanilla Fallout 4.
You pick this.
To fill a recent attachment pack, you have this upgrades, revolver and some spread of attachment options, and some of these are really nice, giving you a more handmade or even more powerful variants of the 44 revolver in Fallout 4. And this mod also got the implementation patch dropping earlier this year, which will make it so all of these custom attachments can now be used by other NPCs in the world. Just going through Fallout 4, you'll start to find some of these custom attachments being used by enemies, which has this really nice effect of making all of those familiar and, let's be honest, rather boring Fallout 4 weapons a whole lot more interesting, as now they'll consistently come with some new looks or styles. Then they go to all of this another way. Fallout 4. So it's used and weapons obviously, you have as enough healing and time to sprint to you with those speeds. Comes at speeds, it seems like they shouldn't be able to reach sober. Also, on the range benefits all the side seems to be standing with all the shots. Accuracy. Yeah, using chems isn't always a good thing, but some of those ranged snipers will be a lot better at pinning you down in position. They'll now hold their position and take shots at you constantly rather than trying to move up with their scoped weapon. Although conversely, shotgunners are now a major threat in Fallout 4. Enemies will recognize they're holding a short-range shotgun and now try and get far closer to you. They do a far better job at flanking or really just getting up in your face. And yeah, those double barrels become one of the scariest weapons in Fallout 4, particularly in higher difficulties. Overall, this mod serves to make combat counters in Fallout 4 like a more reactive and engaging experience. And it does it all in a really organic way, slowly as enemies playing around their strengths or weaknesses. As it exists right now, the Midnight Ride is probably the best vanilla plus lighter load order they can get from a mod list. It's still definitely Fallout 4, but this round is the best version of this game, augmented with mod. And so, I will list. Of course, they add more content on top of that piece. But first, mods can seem like a bit of a meme, but genuinely can change up gameplay in a meaningful way is Mark for Termination. As the Terminator 2 online, you'll have a two Terminators, a game known as Gen 5 Sense. One of these is trying to kill you, while the other is tasked with protecting you, aka the plot of Terminator 2 made into a mod for Fallout 4. The thing is, these two Terminators are unkillable via techniques, just like with the Eagle. There are ways to kill these Terminators, but it's specific and I don't really want to spoil that here. And this mod is incredibly well implemented. After loading in, one of the Terminators will come to find you, and you'll have some new dialogue as they impersonate your spouse. Honey? What happened?
Protect Andy, sir.
God, this can't be happening. My wife died recently. That's it.
Hell yeah.
Crazy.
Subject identity confirmed. Prepare to be terminated.
I think the spouse impersonation is a really nice way to implement this one. But from there, you really just need to run away. Later on, the friendly Terminator will come to protect you with a bit more new dialogue.
Come with me.
Go fuck yourself.
Unable to comply. My mission is to protect you. Your consent is not required. We must leave this location immediately. It is coming. It is not human.
And from that point on, the hunt is just on. You'll basically have this friendly Terminator as a companion at all times, while the other hostile Terminator is consistently looking for you. Fast traveling away will buy you some time, but every time you fast travel to a new location, you'll send a ping of that location to the enemy Terminator who will begin walking to that destination. I believe this can create some absolutely hilarious or really just downright dangerous situations in Fallout 4, depending when or where this Terminator shows up. And one thing that touches on this one is the enemy Terminator gets buffed up increasingly as you get to higher and higher levels. So you can see here, they're using nuka grenades and Fat Mans. That's because I'm a high level on this character. So their gear increases as your gear should increase. And you can seriously up the ante of this one to really change up your next playthrough in a fun way. Because a great mod to add on top is permadeath. This will make it so, on death, all save games for your current character are deleted. Truly the most hardcore way to experience Fallout 4. And then you could be like me, download the Terminator mod, also download the permadeath mod at the same time, but I didn't personally realize the bad Terminator would approach first. I kind of just thought this would be the friendly Terminator, and one brief combat exchange later, I found myself with all of my filming save games permanently deleted. But yeah, this is an incredibly fun mod combination that can dramatically change up gameplay. Your next playthrough might last an hour or 50 hours, but you'll be consistently having tense moments in between. I think literally just using the Terminator mod as well as the permadeath mod can really make Fallout 4 a lot more enjoyable. And the permadeath mod even makes these nice obituaries that contain all the details and major milestones you hit during that playthrough. And if you really want to make your Fallout 4 more enjoyable, you need to download the newly released Enhanced Movement mod. This will overhaul several aspects of traversal in Fallout 4, so now sprinting out of combat will not cost any AP. Honestly, another nice one to have with that Terminator mod. And as you sprint in a straight line, you'll gradually build up momentum, so your speed will increase as you continue sprinting in the same direction. But there are going to be different costs to offset this. Now things like sneak and even swimming will cost a small amount of AP to do, and strafing will be notably slower than just running in a straight line, and walking backwards will be a 25% speed debuff. And honestly, thus far, all of this has been relatively nice and obvious tweaks to movement. Things just feel a little bit more fluid and dynamic. But there's also the rather large new feature added with this mod of sliding in Fallout 4. With now, while hitting a hotkey, you basically finish your sprint with a slide. And this will work from either first or third person. And honestly, this works quite well. It definitely brings Fallout 4's movement up to modern standards overall, and coupling that with the new landing animation that will play when you fall from medium heights, pretty close to the power armor landing animation, it's a cool mod. It's relatively simple, but a lot of these tweaks will end up having a big influence over the entire course of a playthrough. And in a similar vein, we also have immersive legendary mutations. This is one of my personal favorite mods that I believe is woefully underrated right now. Rather than legendary enemies just mutating and regaining a ton of health, this mod will make it so they mutate in a more immersive and interesting way. And this mod's really a two-pronged approach to making this more interesting. One, the mutations themselves will now vary and be different. I don't want to spoil too much about out what kind of mutations can happen, but the other major aspect of this is mutations can happen at any health now. So you could get pretty predictive with these. You basically see once the enemy hits around half HP, they mutate through gaining all of their HP. Now you really don't know when it'll happen, and enemies can mutate multiple times potentially. So you have an enemy that mutates several times, means a huge boost to some kind of stat and becomes a lot more difficult in combat. And these new mutations do have a really cool in-game effect. You see the enemy's appearance change a lot of the times. So they all of a sudden might be glowing blue. And after finishing off that enemy, you find an item on their body that basically gave them this mutated effect. And the effects here all vary dramatically. The blue shield is a major energy resistance boost, basically a giant energy shield mutation that appears. So if you're using energy weapons, they're going to be significantly less effective against that enemy now. The red shield's going to be a major damage resistance boost, so they'll just block all damage a bit better. You can have poison effects on enemies that are basically an area of effect attack. Enemies getting tremendous speed boosts and a ton more. There are quite a few new mutations added with this mod, and honestly, half the fun is just experiencing and figuring them out for yourself in gameplay. Because overall, this mod makes legendary enemies a much larger threat in Fallout 4, but also a bit of a puzzle. On higher difficulties, you basically have to figure out how to deal with them, and some of these new mutations make it so there are much clearer reactions and counters to when an enemy mutates rather than just dealing with more of a bullet sponge. And if you are seeking to experience some of these mods with a more content-focused experience, you should also grab Ashland Station. This dropped earlier this year, and it's a really enjoyable quest, settlement, and reward combo mod, where, after completing a short but engaging dungeon-based quest, you'll be left with a full settlement and some nice rewards. Like a nice compact mod that should give you a few hours of fun, then leave you with some nice content that you'll use for a while. But if so far, downloading all of these individual mods just sounds like a little bit too much work for you, thankfully mod lists are getting really good for Fallout 4, where the best options right now for an ultra-modded Fallout 4 is Magnum Opus. Just like the list I showed you a bit earlier, this too can be automatically installed with CloudJack as long as you have Nexus Premium, and then you'll be left with nearly 1,000 mods in Fallout 4. Magnum Opus is really meant to be that generic ultra-modded Fallout 4. This list doesn't really have a specific theme. It's not horror, it's not meant to be hardcore, anything like that. It's just Fallout 4 with a ton of mods added on top that are all organized and working together now. So as you initially get to combat, you'll notice things are definitely a bit tougher. There's going to be some rebalancing of the enemies, so you'll use more punches and consistent combat across the game. Different and even use a wide array of different weapons that you'll find on them. There will be tons of new items injected all throughout this game. You'll likely find some new weapons early on into your playthrough, and even some new visuals as you move around and get injured. But at its core, it'll still be the Fallout 4 combat loop. You'll still know how to deal with these encounters, and you'll still be using stim packs to heal yourself. This mod list is what you know is Fallout 4, but not trying to change it all that much. And of course, to go along with this, you'll find quite a bit in the way of custom quests to find and play with completely new companions, but also take on totally new and vanilla-friendly quest lines. So if you've seen those highly modded Fallout 4 playthroughs, but just haven't had the stomach to deal with downloading 1,000 mods for yourself, because, yeah, that could be a lot of work, this is that perfect list for you. It'll be very stable and bring you...
Which Fallout game has the best Batman? First appearing in Fallout 3 with the experimental Verb, it fires 8 mini nukes at once, making it the highest damage weapon in the game. New Vegas has Esther, and despite sounding like a kind grandma, it comes with a higher base damage, lower match cost, and this fun little blast shield. Fallout 4 has Big Boy, that comes with the 2-shot legendary effect, and can be fitted with the Nuke launcher or Verb mods. And Fallout 76 has Overkill, that comes with the 2-shot, advanced, and lightweight legendary effects, and can also be a heavily modded experience.
No, don't try and deny it. I'm not a pervert. I'm a murderer. Which horror icon to pick for this video, but if you read the title, I'm sure you can guess which one I chose. Now, I don't...
Hello again, Wasteland Wanderers. In this video, we'll be looking at 10 more details you may have missed while playing Fallout 4. Number 1, you can ask Father for some advice. In the Institute's A House Divided side quest, Dr. Higgs and Dr. Logan protest the Soul Survivors' promotion by barricading themselves in a bioscience lab. But did you know that before trying to deal with them, you can actually talk to Father and ask for advice on how to handle the situation, or even see if he'll take care of it himself?
This is your first real test of leadership. So think carefully about the choices you make. These men respect you. Can't you talk to them? I could. But that would be a missed opportunity for you to show that you could deal with enemies. But you know these men a lot better than I do. You have any advice? No, assume this is bluff. These men are proud. They might well be prepared to die for their cause. Hopefully, violence won't be necessary. But in the end, must do what's best for the Institute.
Although talking with him won't give you additional ways to resolve the quest, it's still a neat little detail that many players miss. Number 2, Bullet and his friends will come after you. After helping Billy Peabody find his parents in Quincy and rejecting Bullet's offer to buy him, Bullet will show up at their family house with his buddies and try to take Billy by force. If you decide to protect the family and kill Bullet, a few days later you may come across a raider in a random encounter who claims to be Bullet's friend, seeking revenge for his death.
You remember Bullet? He was a good friend of mine.
Look alive.
Alternatively, if you convince Bullet that Billy and his parents aren't in the house, you might run into Bullet later in another random encounter where he'll confront you for lying to him.
You didn't really think you could cross me and live, did you?
Number 3, Paladin Brandis will assist the Brotherhood. If Paladin Brandis is convinced to return to the Prydwen during the Lost Patrol side quest, he'll appear on the airship about a week later, thanking the Soul Survivor and giving them his gun, the Survivor's Special. But did you know that Brandis will also join the assault on the Institute during the Adventorium and the Nuclear Option quests, staying by your side until the end?
We will not fail.
But before we go any further, a quick word that you can get up to an 80% discount on Fallout 3 and up to 70% off Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 4. Click the link in the description below to visit the store and type Fallout in the search bar to see these deals for yourself. Instant Gaming also features great discounts on the latest releases like Space Marines 2, Age of Mythology Retold, Life is Strange Double Exposure, and Platinum, along with excellent pre-order deals. You can browse available games for specific platforms like PC, PlayStation, Xbox, or Nintendo, and see what's trending in the bestsellers section. With it, again, click in the side quest in Sheev's Clothing, where you have to deal with Mayor McDonough. When most players arrive at his office, they see Piper trying to break in. However, if you have Piper as your...
Did you know that Fallout 76 was released on November the 14th in 2018? And that's right, friends. Today is Fallout 76's 6th birthday. This is absolutely amazing, and time really has flown by in a blink of an eye. Today we're going to be wishing Fallout 76 a happy birthday, going over what the game means to me, sharing some photos that we've taken along. Boy, it really doesn't feel like 6 years, does it? And now you may not know that I actually started playing Fallout 76 during the beta. I ordered the collector's
Any luck with that artifact?
Go back on the Fallout 76 subreddit.
Here it is.
And still in good shape. Here, still, once you're ready.
I wanted more people to have a chance
Can't do it right
to
now.
play this game.
Just be sure to find me when you're ready.
Before the release, and I still remember running into the Mothman for the first time during the beta and being scared out of my mind. And now I have 3 plushies of the Mothman, and it's cool. And now, while Fallout 76 did not have the best of starts, many vault dwellers stuck around, and the team stuck around as well. And I have to give a huge kudos to the team for putting so much blood, sweat, and tears and just absolute love into this project that I have fallen back in love with. And to everyone that stuck around with Fallout 76 and continue to play, whether you be just a player, a YouTuber, a streamer, thank you so much for helping me in such a great experience. Now we're ready
to this channel, you hear me say it all the time on how lucky I feel to be a part of a great Fallout community. Absolutely, the community around Fallout 76 is by far one of the best communities that I've ever had the pleasure of being a part of. And I come from the Final Fantasy, A Realm Reborn community, and a bunch of other communities of games that I have played over my lifetime. And y'all absolutely smash it out of the park as being friendly, informative, and just so helpful to everybody out there in the wasteland. And now, I don't know about you, but I'd like to know what Fallout 76 means to you and what keeps you coming back to playing Fallout 76. For me, it's the people. While I do love the gameplay mechanics, the loop of it all, doing events, getting legendaries, taking down bosses, getting on the PTS to check stuff out, and changing up builds and
create their own base. As after completing the molecular level, did you know that Fallout 4 has a secret disguise system? During the railroad, make a cool and unique interaction that I think the vast majority of players just miss because, yeah, the game never tells you about this option. And one of the other things a lot of you guys are missing is how much the Brotherhood evolves over the course of the game. At least some of these are pretty subtle. The Brotherhood makes sure that the whole reason they're in the common level is to find to the Brotherhood during the main quest of Fallout 4. From there, during the quest of Molecular Up, you force craft the teleporter to break into the Institute yourself. But what you may not realize is all of these Brotherhood will actually take the lessons and upgrade their own base. As after completing the molecular level, you find that the Boston Airport will now have these teleportation jammers placed all around them. By completing the quest, there'll just be a bunch of crates, but then it'll be replaced shortly thereafter, and these look very similar to teleporter, making it clear that the Brotherhood is just taking this technology and utilizing it for themselves. Although as far as I can tell, these don't actually work, and they can still teleport in here, but a nice little detail nonetheless. But the secrets with the Brotherhood go even deeper than that. But they also have an NPC. That was Professor Scarra. As you finally take the teleporter to infiltrate, you're given a secret side objective by Elder Maxit. Find Dr. Lee to help the Brotherhood with a secret project to stop the Institute. This is all around Liberty Prime, and Dr. Lee is the obvious first choice here. She's one of the few special characters who actually worked with the Brotherhood of Steel already. I can see her doing this in Fallout 3, but since she has fled to the Commonwealth, she worked for the Institute instead, and now the Brotherhood wants her back. So now, for most of you, this is a pretty simple quest. Either you can pass a simple skill check to get Dr. Lee to return, or literally just run a quick errand for her, and you'll have Dr. Lee back in the Brotherhood working on Liberty Prime in no time. But she's honestly kind of rude. Dr. Lee will laugh in your face.
So now you're just going to hurl baseless accusations to get what you want.
You must go to say that Brotherhood is still alive.
Do you really on someone that I'm live? Either you get me the evidence, or we have nothing else to talk about. Deal?
I just generally has an attitude.
The Brotherhood wants me back, and the best they can do is send a robot that does nothing but follow orders. Sorry, but you're going to have to do a lot better than that.
So maybe any one of the will be it, and you end up just taking her out instead, which opens up one of the least completed quest paths in Fallout 4. Mainly because, as far as I can tell, you can't actually get here via dialogue. It said you're not going to help her, but that won't actually fail the quest. You'll just leave open the option to help her in perpetuity. This is one of the rare moments in Fallout 4 where the game is completely reactive to you using guns instead of words. And maybe Dr. Lee wasn't the nicest to anyone else in the Institute because nobody else seems to care she's gone either. Upon doing this, you'll have to return to
best of wrapping up combat.
Word that Dr. Lee's died by your hands. I demand to know what went wrong.
I was afraid she'd betray us the first chance she got.
That wasn't your decision to make. Your instructions were clear. You were to infiltrate the Institute, find Dr. Lee, and convince her to return to the Brotherhood. Instead, you decided to become her executioner. I'm extremely disappointed in you, Knight.
My apologies, Elder.
Apologies are meaningless. Brotherhood soldiers take responsibility for their actions and move on. I expect no less out of you. Fortunately, this incident doesn't change our current strategy. We have a contingency plan that's already being put into effect. It should ensure completion of our special project.
A pretty cool detail of this is you can actually get a slightly different reprimand and new dialogue options if instead of killing Yi directly, you kill someone else in the Institute, leading to them banishing you.
Lancer Captain Kells has informed me that the Institute's on high alert, and you're to blame. Explain yourself, Knight.
The Institute is the enemy. I was simply doing my duty.
Your duty is to follow my orders to the letter, Knight. Your instructions were clear. You were to infiltrate the Institute, find Dr. Lee, and convince her to return to the Brotherhood.
I'm extremely disappointed in you, Knight.
Look alive.
I stand by my actions.
So do you? Well, if nothing else, you have the courage to stand your ground. That doesn't absolve you from your mistake.
Aye.
I buy and sell.
Let's just say you
Just
burned
put up
that
everything.
city.
Let's
But
see what you
Superman
have.
has a backup plan. So now instead, during Liberty Reprime, you'll be tasked with finding Professor Skara.
What we need is a robotics expert. And there's someone in Diamond City that fits the bill. Her name's Professor Scar. Locals say she's a wizard when it comes to fixing robots. Why don't you head over there and see if you can talk her into helping us? Oh, and take this with you. Once she sees one of those cerebro fusion adapters, I'm pretty sure she'll have a tough time saying no.
She's in a lab in Diamond City, but as you arrive, her colleague will inform you that she has been gone for a few days, lost somewhere around General Atomics Galleria. Upon going there, you'll find Professor Skara. After the Prigwin arrives in the Commonwealth, Elder Maxon will invite us to a meeting on board to announce the Brotherhood's mission, kicking off Shadow of Steel. And if you bring Dogmeat with you while this quest is going on, he'll actually salute while Elder Maxon's giving the speech. Dogmeat's the only companion that has a reaction during this. But as you can see in that clip, one of the other major features a lot of players miss is the plethora of Dogmeat equipables. You can give him a bandana to wear, a full set of dog armor, featuring both a helmet and a light to heavy armor itself, and also things like dog collars, muzzles, and even mountain goggles work on Dogmeat. Okay, some of the items going to be a lot more difficult. Down, up from other enemies, other dogs, out in combat. Their aura on stage, drawing the lead until Fallout 4 is classified as melee weapon. You see, dog collar, and dogs. Getting some of these items is going to be a lot more difficult. It's not that. Now, is classified as a melee weapon. So in a building on PC, you can move around. My leg. This was going to be 3-4 movement on the ground. I'm going around. It's classified as a melee weapon. See, you can move around unplaced items in workshop mode by holding down the E key on PC or the A key on Xbox. This basically gives you free-form movement on the ground. It's a lot easier than having to walk your entire character around in order to place things. These small generators in Fallout 4 can get incredibly noisy, but they actually have a variety of different sounds they can use, and if you simply turn them on and then off, it'll cycle through the generator sounds, resetting them. Some of the passive sounds are way quieter. This one is my personal favorite. You can scrap the barrels in the pond at the center of Starlight Drive-In to remove the radiation effect. As well, the penetrative perk in Fallout 4 is secretly amazing. Most assume it'll just allow you to target enemies through cover or walls in vats, which is more or less what the perk description shows and says. And well, yeah, targeting enemies through walls can definitely be handy. This is far from its greatest feature, because what Penetrator considers cover is incredibly diverse. Power armor is considered cover. You can easily target an enemy's fusing core through their armor, causing it to bells. With others, you can easily fire at their torsos or head through the bell. two of the guys occupied just one-shotting them, and didn't target them instantly target their combat inhibitor, making close robot encounters incredibly easy with this perk. Overall, it's another way to monsters enemies in Fallout 4 are able to kill it, and you can instantly target their weak spot. And let me know if you have more thoughts that like this. I have a list of 25 more secrets I found once you research.
Hello and welcome back to Fallout 76. Today I'm trying to determine if the legendary effect Dissipate would make a reasonable substitute for the legendary perk What Rats. Just so we're all on the same page, let's look at each one of them. So What Rats at maximum rank is 300 rad resistance restores 6 rats per second. Obviously, you're playing around with this guitar and want no part of it. And I have to test this in rank because legendary perks cannot be unranked. Once you put the perk points into them, that's it. You can't go with a lower rank. So we're only looking at this at maximum rank. And Dissipating is an effect you never want to see when you have unyielding armor. And it does radiation recovery, 0.25% radiation recovery. And this effect can actually stack. So really what I have are two questions. Number one, is Dissipating a good substitute for What Rads? And if it is, how many pieces of Dissipating do you need? So first, I'll show you what a typical setup that I would have with What Rads equipped would look like. So I have What Rads equipped, and I have a full set of Secret Service armor. It doesn't have Dissipating on it, but all three of the pieces are the same. And we are here at the Metal. You didn't recognize the surroundings. This is where testing the automatic shows up. Mostly there's no radiation. Except when you stand on these rocks, the radiation can be quite low. But if I stand on since my rad protection is 597, 397. And this actually pairs really nicely with Ghoulish. So basically the way Ghoulish works is while you're taking radiation, it actually gives you healthy generation. Like this, where the radiation goes, still taking rad and healing just quickly. Ghouls would actually keep my health topped off, so I can actually stand here in this event, and they don't really do any damage. It's a very unique situation that doesn't come up a whole lot, because it's actually pretty good. Alright, so let's experiment a little bit. So we're going to take What Rads off, get rid of that, and we're going to unequip our armor, so you can see we have no radiation resistance at all, and we have no rad healing. So if I stand on top of this rock, right here. This event, for the most part, there's not much radiation. Unless you're in like the greenish yellow spots, there's not really much radiation. But if you stand on top of this rock right at the top, the radiation increases as you go to the top. And at the very top, I'm taking 29 rads per second. And with the no rad protection, I don't survive very long. It lasts about 33 seconds, give or take, half a second here and there. So in about 33 seconds, character just dies. And there you go. Character dies, takes about 33 seconds. All right, so now I have a set of leather armor. Nothing special about it. All the pieces are the same, and each piece has Dissipating on it. So I have 5 pieces of Dissipating, which should give me some rad healing. That's what I expected with this test. It'd be like, okay, now I don't have any radiation resistance, but I'm getting some rad healing, so maybe I would survive a little longer. So I go back up here, and the radiation I take is still 29 rads per second. And What Rads is the same way. So even though it's giving you plus 6 rads per second, the amount you're taking in, at least the number on the screen, it doesn't change. It's only affected by radiation resistance. So I put this on, and I have 5 pieces of Dissipating, expecting to have a little bit longer life. And what I found is it makes no difference at all. My character will still die in the same 33 seconds that I did without any protection at all. So that led me to believe that Dissipating doesn't actually work while you're actually taking rads. You actually have to be stepped away from the rad, not taking rads for the healing effect to actually work. Now, Dissipating does actually work. You can see my health bar is, if you look down there in the lower left, the radiation bar is slowly getting smaller. It is very slow, though. So Dissipating is working, and I thought, well, maybe the fact that I've taken so much radiation is it's not making enough of a difference to actually affect the total time, because I'm taking so many rads and Dissipating works so slowly that, so maybe it does work while I'm taking rads. I don't know yet. That's kind of what I'm thinking, but we need to change up the test a little bit. All right, so now I have my regular Secret Service armor back on. There's no Dissipating. All of the pieces are exactly the same. So I'm getting rad resistance, but no rad recovery. If you look right there, rad resistance of 297. So now when I go to this top of this rock, it is 6 rads per second instead of 29 rads per second.
Hey.
So rad resistance actually makes a massive difference here. And you can see the rad bar is moving a whole lot slower than it was before. And the character finally succumbs to the rads and dies, and basically having that combination added 2 minutes to our survivability. So instead of 33 seconds, it was 2 minutes and 33 seconds. So now I have a Secret Service set. It's just like the other one, except the third star has dissipating on all 5 pieces. So if dissipating actually works while you're taking rads, then our time should be shorter here. Because the rads are much slower in this case, and the time to survive is much longer. So if dissipating is going to make a difference, there should be some noticeable amount of time extension on how long we survive. If we stand on top, it'll show the same 6 rads per second because that doesn't take rad recovery into effect. If it did, that would be so much easier that I could just look at how many rads we're taking, and you could actually see the difference. But rad recovery doesn't show that difference at all. And with a full set of dissipating Secret Service, we find that our survival time is exactly the same. So at this point, I can be pretty conclusive in saying that dissipating does not do anything while you're actively taking rads. So now I have unequipped all my own, and I just have one rad. You can see my radiation resistance is 300, which is roughly what you get from a full set of Secret Service. If it's 297 versus 300, I would say that's basically the same. And there's what rads right there. And what you get in this situation is a bar, the health bar would move, or not the health bar, the rad bar would move very slowly from what I found. I think that plus 6 rads per second might be a bit of a coming down a little bit. I think it's slightly more than 6. I mean, if it was 6 exactly, then your health bar or your rad bar wouldn't move at all because that's how much you're healing. But you can see what it actually looks like when you're getting an effect that heals you while you're taking rads. So I'm not going to stand here and wait for my character to die because that would probably take a very long time at the rate that rad bar is moving. But you can see that's a big difference. So if you're looking for something that heals you constantly when you're taking rads or not, then what rads really is your only option. So the other thing I tried to determine was how quick the rad healing is for dissipating versus what rads. And 5 pieces of dissipating seems to be about half the rate of
their own base. As if competing with molecular level, you find that the Boston airport limit, as well as the penetrative perk in Fallout 4, is secretly amazing. Let's assume it'll just allow you to target enemies through cover or walls and vents, which is more or less what the perk description shows and says. And well, yeah, targeting enemies through walls can definitely come in. This is far from its greatest feature. What Penetrator considers cover is incredibly diverse. Targeting enemies through their armor, causing it to overheat and explode, or forcing either at their torsos or head shout, you'll hold them 2 times to the one-shot them, and you can target them. Most robot encounters trying to be easy with this perk. Overall, there's enough of the toughest enemies in Fallout 4 relatively trivial to deal with, that you can instantly target their weak spot. And let me know if you want more content like this. I have a list. Costume. While doing this, you can actually progress this path. Did you know there's a completely secret way to begin Fallout 4's main questline? I bet a lot of you didn't, because frankly, I didn't even know about this one until doing the research for this video. Right as you begin the game, instead of going to Concord, just beeline it to Good Neighbor. But I mean, hey, this is a video about secret choices. You just go with this reader before he has a chance to talk to you, and this will yield some unique dialogue with Hancock.
Hey there. Sean, another settlement needs our help. I won't ask for details. I'm sure I don't want to know. These Minutemen claiming to want to save the colony. They have not even protect themselves. Their cause is Calm down, please. I know how you...
Today, Sheffield will be liberating Nuka World from the injustice of the Raiders with the help of Nuka-Cola at 1,000 times the strength. His end goal is to get all 15 Nuka-Cola recipes in Nuka World. Leader factions to free Nuka World from the Raiders. But first, he needs to prep himself to be able to take on the Nuka World gauntlet by getting as much base game Nuka-Cola as possible. His reward for this prep? Well, the great release of the legendary Nuka-Cola Dart. With his insane abilities. Here it is. Okay. Honestly, later. So 400,000 and 1,000. This is different than I guess this is like let's go for a basic Nuka-Cola here. Ow, 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 ow. Hold on, I'm drinking my Nuka-Cola. Hurt my arm. You pull it, yes. Okay, good. Sometimes I can be empty. My aim is terrible. Go mask. Oh, I can't open my pit boy again. No, he got me again. Brother, what is this 2-1-2 combo? I can't open my pit boy. I'm spamming it. There we go. Okay. Oh, dude, this combo grab is BS. Yeah, get stuck in the car. Get stuck in the car, stupid. Stupid. Oh, he's still in the car. Save, save, save. Get out of here. I can't wait to be overpowered, man. I need to make, let's see if I can remember where it is. Where is the things crafting? Wherever else is. Right here. The recipes I can make outright are Nuka-Cola, Nuka Buzz, Nuka Fancy, Nuka Free, and Nuka. Thank you. There we go. Okay, cool. Now we're going to start heading down the city to get rich because, like I said, that's all stuff. Right now, where I need follow up, is to get paths to buy things. So not here. You're going to go for Ponder because something to talk about. Our end goal, like I said, is Nuka-Cola, Nuka World. It's going to be getting every recipe in Nuka World and destroying all the raiders in Nuka World. I need some levels, and I need Nuka Dart and Nuka Bomb Side, Bomb, whatever it's called, Ice Bomb, I forget what it's called. Oh, yeah, that does so little. Two strength. Why am I doing this? At least it's giving me a crit. Just gonna stay over here while their pathfinding is bad. We're gonna focus on clearing them out, and then we're gonna loot. I might switch to shotgun. This is so bad. There we go. 50-50. Oh my god! 88? Oh, you're a roamer. Just like I'm playing zombies. Dude, what? I need something apparently. I should have gotten the Protectron. That is a lot of ghouls. Holy. Can you get a little closer? Oh, too close. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. I always mess that up with the range. No, I have my crit. What am I doing?
Sure as hell looks that way.
Sorry, dog meat. 50-50? Where was the other? There were two legendaries. You.
do this. You crazy?
What was that?
Best scrap in the company. Right here.
I've got a few minutes to browse. Hey. Thanks for your help. Hey.
Huh?
Hey, Carla.
You again. Here to trade?
Let's see what you have.
Always happy to...
Sure. Hey. Hey.
Yeah?
Hey, Carla.
Hey there. Trading?
I've got a few minutes to browse.
You break it?
Heads up.